So, hey Warren, we've been talking and you said you'd call me, I said we'd call you, and you caught me in the studio. So I figured we could have a chat about ActionCOACH, have a chat about what we do here, our experiences, and essentially give the folks at home a really good feel for what happens as an end user of ActionCOACH, because it's okay you guys talking about plans and training and what we can do for you, whereas we've had some good experiences, so I figured we could have a chat.
Well, Roland, thank you so much for taking the time, and I get to see a little peek into your gorgeous studio, and that this looks tremendous. And I know you do so many cool things with technology and marketing, and I so enjoyed our conversation. So yeah, so we'll jump right into it. So first question, you had this ActionCOACH experience, and did it make you more money? How did it make you more money?
Yeah, because again, it's kind of what you want to know, isn't it? So from our point of view, we've got ActionCOACH in the UK, so I've got experience of ActionCOACH in the US and the UK. And one of the sessions I was sat in, and the guy who was presenting really reminded me of you. He kind of said, right, you guys all run businesses. I've run a business. I know how tough it is. I know you don't want another sales call. So what do you want? and we're kind of like, oh, well, you know, really, I want more money. Yeah, okay, you want more money. What do you do? Well, I run a small to medium price enterprise. I mean, it's like under $10 million turnover. I got between 50 and 100 people. I'm right at that kind of scale up stage. And he said, oh, okay, if you want to earn money, I'll give you some advice. I thought, wow, free advice. I already like this course. I like the brand, I like the style, this is good. And he said, right, if you want to make more money, how do you buy things? I said, well, I'm pretty fair, but I'm tough. You know, I make sure I get the right price for things, I don't overpay, and you know, I'm pretty tight on that kind of thing. He said, yeah. And he said, well, ActionCOACH is all about selling. So do you sell the same way? How do you mean? He said, well, do you sell by beating yourself down and offering really good value for money and making sure there's very little margin left in it? And I'm kind of, you know, now you've said it, maybe. and so he said, well, charge what you're worth. Literally, forget how you're selling at the moment. Buy how you buy, sell how you sell. And that mindset where you say, hey, wait a minute, quality service. I mean, and now this is a while ago. Nowadays, we have the world's biggest virtual platform for doing digital events. We do net zero carbon conferences, and we have a solar powered studio and all this kind of stuff. And I'm still thinking, you know, are we charging enough money for this? And if you go on an ActionCOACH course, I know the way you said you ran courses is it's about problem solving, isn't it?
Yes, that's brilliant. I think the mindset thing is such an important thing to think about, and we are worth what we think we are worth. So the best way to raise profits fast, honestly, is to raise our prices. And whoops, what if we ended up firing some of our worst clients? Has that ever happened to you?
Do you know, that's an interesting one, because at the time, never. Even the most awkward client who talks the most and changes the goalposts every 5 minutes and then doesn't pay you on time and doesn't pay you as much as you're worth, you kind of feel like they're a client. You must look after them. You must always do what they say, and you know, service is king. The reality is he's robbing you for not making money working for a good client who does understand what you do, who is organized, who pays their bills. And it's a psychology thing, isn't it? I mean, from your point of view, I guess you've seen that happen for real.
Oh my goodness, so many times we always try to figure out who's the ideal customer, and that, you know, the 20% of the clients that are making you 80% of the money, and then those other clients are fun to say farewell to and let them go shop, especially those price-oriented clients. We love to have those folks shop our competition. That's just absolutely the best. Okay, so let me move on to the next. I want to ask this next question. So I've seen this a lot, and I just got back from doing a corporate alignment with a group of leaders for a large company. I've also seen this with business partners, with they have 2 or 3 partners, even a husband and wife. How does it go when you're trying to get along with your business partner and be aligned with your business partner? Any experience with that?
Oh, yeah, I kind of, that question. This business is run by myself and, well, actually, no, it's run by a bunch of cool people who are not me. It's owned and was originally developed by me and a guy called Dave Bedford, and we really get on. But some of the times we kind of, I don't want to say we didn't get on, but we had to bite our lips. We had to be a bit kind of like, okay, if you think that's the right thing to do, then dang, you know, you go and do that, but I'm not really going to support it. And you think, yeah, why do we get on some of the time, but not all of the time? And that's the case of, well, actually, if teams are going to work together, this was a big thing I got from ActionCOACH. Somebody made me do a personality test. What are they called again?
DISC. We usually do DISC. So
that's the one. Dominant. DISC, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't want a personality examination. You know, there's nothing wrong with me. I just fall out with people. You know, that's the normal way, isn't it? And I remember the ActionCOACH thing and going, yeah, you kind of need to get on better, but you need to understand each other. And we did a DISC test. The test was brilliant because we went through it. It didn't take long, a few minutes. And I was expecting not good results. You know, my expectation was low, to be fair. And actually it came out and me and Dave were both sat there and we both read it. I said, geez, you know, we're both really ambitious. We've got this huge crossover. And he went, yeah. And it says I'm really creative. And he went, yeah, that's true. It also says I'm really bad at administration. So he basically coughs his coffee over the table and goes, really? This is like 10 years. We've been working together. I'm like, oh, well, I probably need to be more sensitive to that, don't I? And he's going, And then I read his profile and it says not that creative, but really organized. I mean, wow, really ruthlessly organized and really responds well to people who kind of plan and ask questions beforehand and don't just shoot from the hip. And I went, you need more spreadsheets from me, don't you? And he went, yeah, I need that. Like, I really need that. We had this whole connection thing going, wow, I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that about you. So even for the sort of toughest thinking management team that, hey, I don't do tests, you know, everyone just does what I say. So not true. You can benefit from it. And I guess that's a major part of the program, isn't it?
Yes, it's fun. Last week, I just did a thing, as I was telling you, with these corporate leaders, and it's amazing. We have in this group, you know, we have a bunch of people that are really super detail oriented, very compliant, follow all the rules, get all the research done, and there was no decision maker in leadership. That was a driver, dominate, wanted to make a decision. So they actually brought in a CEO, and thank God they brought in somebody that could fill that role, because while getting the research is super important, and me personally as a ready, fire, aim guy, we need the detail folks that are doing the research to actually make the right call. We also have to have decision makers. So that complementary partner style is really important and great just to understand and have awareness of, because if you know how to communicate with folks, then you can actually figure out how best to get everything done. I have another partner, 2 partners, and one guy's very relationship oriented, not very detail oriented, and the other guy is extremely detail oriented. Those 2 together, communication styles clash, but once they figure each other out, it works wonderfully, and they're such great complements to each other.
Yeah, it's problem solving, isn't it? It is problem solving.
It all comes back to problem solving. If we can figure out, and that's what I like about what we do, it's very customized. There's not a formula that we follow exactly the same thing for every business, because every business is dealing with some of the same stressors and some different. So if we can customize a program to help a business really grow and scale, it's super rewarding, frankly.
That's cool. So any more questions?
Yes. So I want to ask you about teams. because some teams put the fun in dysfunction, and a lot of leadership teams are that way. Talk to me about your sales. How does it work with your sales team, and just getting the most out of them? Because sales teams can be pretty dysfunctional too.
They can as well, and I think there's a really key thing here, and this was another revelation for me. This is coming from somebody who kind of, as we said before, I didn't really need coaching. I didn't need action. I didn't need this stuff, and it was a case of saying, well, who's selling in your organization? I'm like, well, we got the sales guy, we got the sales girl. In fact, well, there's the internal sales team, let's say, but they do some other things. And then there's business development, who are, they're kind of the management team, but they do some selling. They do plenty of account. They talk to customers, they find new business, and the look on the trainer's face, he's like, this guy's going to get there. He's going to get there. The penny's going to drop. The light bulb is going to go on. And I kind of, you're kind of waiting for the kid in the back of the class who's just about, do we all sell, don't we? And it was a question. The guy's like, yes, everybody in the organization is a salesperson. Everybody in the organization talks to a customer. Even if it's the person on reception, they talk to the customer. They stand there for 20 minutes. What do they talk about? Hey, what are you here for? Can you buy something else from us? What's your experience like? And it was that idea that your sales team isn't just your sales team. And if you think about it that way, if we're not all thinking about sales and we're not talking about sales, we are just one great big dysfunctional sales team. And at that point, you think, right, so I've got a client prevention department there who just feel that they work internally and they're not allowed to talk to the people outside and they should say no to everything. and it's that realization that I know folks do this brilliantly and they understand it, but especially from an SME point of view, it's easy to forget,
It's so true. Everybody, by the way, I always think about legal as being the client prevention and sales prevention department, because they're mitigating risk. So that's where I always go.
IT security.
IT, yes, absolutely IT.
I love our IT, by the way.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So thinking about everyone as everybody that touches a customer, having the right scripting, the right customer interaction, and thinking about how that also builds your brand the right way, so that people know when they expect a certain interaction with you and your business and your brand, and when they actually have that interaction, how good it is and how much easier it is in some cases for a non-salesperson to upsell or cross-sell a customer versus the actual salesperson. That happens a lot because they built certain empathy and credibility that maybe the salesperson doesn't have.
For sure, and not everybody wants to be sold to, do they? So if somebody's got a different role and they're talking to you, hey, maybe you need this. Oh, sure, yeah, that's cool. That realization that, and it brings it back to what does ActionCOACH do for you as the recipient? So me, for a business owner, it's helped build relationships. It's built better relationships. It's made us realize obvious things about our business that's made us more profitable. We've gone to market in a different way. We're leaner, and we're certainly happier. And that final thing about the wider team, it's not just for salespeople. It's something that can be applied, a little bit. Not everybody has to go on all the training modules, do they? Some people just need advice, but it's about having a true coach, somebody who understands your business, takes the time to understand your business, looks at your business problems, and you've got a toolbox, haven't you, of solutions, of fixes, and you see this, and from an outsider coming in going, hey, you guys need some help here, you need some help here, you need some help here. I'm going to open my toolbox and I'm going to do these things. So the takeaway from my point of view is don't be afraid of ActionCOACH from a coaching point of view. We've had a great time. Warren, you've spoken the word that we've heard from several of the top coaches and benefited from. So by all means, I'm guessing, go call you if you want coaching. And we'll talk about the area in a minute. And from our point of view, if you want to broadcast and you're based in the UK, or if you want a virtual sales room, you want a virtual conference, you want a net zero conference, or any of the cool 3D stuff we do, then hit us up. The link will be in the bottom. It's called Marketing Technologies Group. We've got Midland Road Studios, which is here in Worcester, not Worcester. And, we have a PR company, a translation company, a web company, and the VX, the platform.
Hey, Roland, I just want to say thank you. And I think your product and your services are incredible. And the translation, the fact that you can do all these different languages, that you can do all these virtual conferences, it's just an amazing product. I can't wait to recommend it to some of my customers as well.
Brilliant. Warren, thanks for your time. Really enjoyed it. Speak to you soon.